All right. So, it's been some time, but we are now back finally after a few weeks off, and we are
We're
jumping.
back.
Exactly. We're going to be jumping into our Sunday campaign, also known as the Ruined City, with a familiar team of players, the Job Squad, including a new face. So, as we begin, I guess to set the scene for what's to come. Our 5 adventurers are heading into the ruined city of Almus, tasked to find an artifact that some say isn't there while others say never existed. They have been hired by an incredibly powerful and wealthy merchant to find what hasn't been found or seen in decades. With promise of wealth and influence, enough to change their lives, our adventurers have set forward. Almus itself is an interesting backdrop to this mission. The ruined city decimated as some say a rift within the veil was torn open in the city center, spilling forward all manner of creatures and beings. While most see this as some sort of a natural phenomenon, there are many that believe Almus brought its fate upon itself. Experimenting with magic beyond control, the advanced city still houses magic and technologies far beyond the scope of the rest of Ekros. Now, quarantined behind 2 massive walls on its eastern and western borders, as well as a floating armada along its coast, those left inside the Almus habitation zone are forced to scratch and claw for their survival. Many factions now share the city, from the Needles to the Stitchers and the Regs, as well as the many clandestine smuggler groups that control what little trade still flows into Almus, exploiting those who remain as well as those foolish enough to make their way in, which is our party. So, as we find ourselves with our party, the 5 of you have been traveling for some time. The worst part of the smuggling process is over. You have already made your way past the shores and deep into the mountains of Karth. Your guide, Bryn, having informed you of some of the details of the city, now settles around the final fire before you take the last trek up and into the city. So, let me get some music going, and we will jump right in.
Our guard, Bryn.
Yeah,
There's a guard with us?
your guide.
Guide.
Yeah,
Sorry.
guide. So, as you all sit around the fire, the familiar face of Bryn as he kind of settles over what is going to probably be your last refined meal before whatever awaits you within the city. You've traveled for a couple of weeks, making your way up into the mountains, and so you've largely gone through much of your supplies and things of that nature, right? So you're hoping that once you finally make your way inside, there'll be an opportunity to kind of fill back up. Smuggler, Bryn himself, has kind of informed you that it should be an opportunity, not a problem. So, as the evening settles in, the 6 of you, you 5 plus Bryn, as you kind of sit around the fire, Bryn is going to kind of just go over some final detail, right? Things to expect, all of that, before he takes the kind of final steps leading you forward. So, to go around, let's see. Okay. All right. Gregor. As you sit along the fire, Bryn will kind of offer you out a plate of food. It's basically just like a patchwork stew of sorts, right? Things have just kind of tossed in, and it's good enough to kind of just fill the stomach and keep up your strength. But as Bryn kind of reaches out across the fire, kind of handing you over, could you please describe your character?
Yes, Gregor is a middle-aged man, dark hair, trimmed beard, not very stocky, kind of on the skinnier side, and average height. He'd eagerly take the bowl that was being offered to him, as he had not been eating well throughout the entirety of the journey, so scarce it down pretty quickly.
So as you're kind of eating, Bryn is going to kind of, I've not been given much information about specifically your task. Is there anything you would like to ask me before before the following day? It's not much long left in the journey, so if there's anything I can help you with, I'd be more than happy to fill you in on any details.
What have you been told exactly?
Well, I just have to lead you to the entrance of the city, and that's it for my half, as well as hang around. Supposedly, well, from my understanding, you have 5 days, and if you've not returned then I'm free to go. As far as getting you back.
5 days to get to the city with you? Or to
No,
complete whatever we have to do there?
yeah, whatever you've got going on inside, I just have to wait. Where we will, say goodbye. And you have up to 5 days before I am no longer required to stick around. Kind of looks over at you. And if you could, Turtle Run, please describe your character.
Yeah, 6'1", 190, 30-year-old white man. Brown hair.
All right.
I have a dog with me. White dog.
Yeah, what's the dog doing?
He's chilling. He's kind of looking at the smuggler right now. Doesn't like him very much.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You're part of one of the worst factions in the city, and we're just kind of going there with you. Like, who asked for us to come to the city?
That's in the primary, buddy, that I said. You've been hired.
Oh yeah.
And this
By
smuggler has
Anton.
been hired to
Yeah.
get
by
you into the
Anton.
city. Yeah.
And what faction is Anton a part of?
He's kind of his own deal.
Also a smuggler?
He's his own thing. Yeah.
So not like the Veil or Thread or whatever.
No.
Okay.
Kind of his own thing. So, your dog, Chani, I believe. Yeah, definitely has a sour disposition towards the smuggler who has been traveling with you. And even though he's attempted to kind of, toss scraps of meat and here and there try to gain the favor of the dog, it's not going well for him. But he kind of sits there. You've been traveling with him for some time. He's got a bald head, right, straight to the skin, not even a semblance of fuzz on the top. And at this point, it is, despite the weather turning, there's still plenty of daylight out, and it's enough to cause a serious kind of sunburn. And he's got red dotted sunburned head, as well as a kind of scraggly, patchy facial hair that just kind of clings, all across in spots. It does not look like doesn't look very, he's an ugly son of a bitch, right? You look at him and it's like, oh my god, you hope to not look like
He's
this.
ungroomed.
Exactly.
Very
Well,
ungroomed.
it's more than ungroomed, right? It's fucked up. But so, yeah. So, as Chani kind of growls in his direction, he kind of looks around. Yeah, ugly. Bryn will kind of look around. What about the rest of you? He looks to kind of greet the eyes of each one of you three, kind of like in a passing motion. Do you have any questions about the city or what you may come to expect?
I look at the guy sternly while I'm eating my piece of meat, and I speak to the smuggler. I say, what do you know about what do you know of what lies within that ruined city?
It kind of like, he does like the philosopher's pose, right? He like leans forward, he puts his hand on his his palm underneath his chin, and kind of scratches at that patchwork beard. If you could, Mastodon, please describe your character as you speak to Bryn.
30-some-year-old white human male, 6'4", 240 pounds, long beautiful golden locks.
Okay.
With generally a stern look on his face.
Yeah, stern disposition. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of leans forward and kind of scratches at his face. To be fair, I can't really tell you much. I don't go into the city. I just take you to the front doors, so to speak. That's as far as I go. So
Fair enough.
Can't be too sure, but thankfully for now, doesn't seem as like whatever's in that city has made its way, out into the wilds. One thing that is a bit strange to you five, once you got, even just a little bit of distance into this like habitation zone, right? The Almus habitation zone. Nature itself has kind of dropped off, right? You don't hear birds, you don't hear like wild animals around you. It is like dead silent in this part of the world, which is very off-putting, right? Because this, you never notice how quiet things are, right, until it's dead silent. But yeah, that's been one part of the journey that has had, up to your choice, has had potentially a side effect that's
No animals, no like squirrels running around,
nothing.
littered birds, nothing.
Nothing. This whole region just seems completely not dead, because as far as forest life and natural kind of green life goes, that's in abundance, right? But like the living animals and such, it's just been dead quiet. So up to you to decide how unnerving that has been so far on your journey, which has been a couple of weeks at this point. But in any case, Bryn will kind of catch eyes with Harold. And you? I see you've been doing well in your part as a young squire.
So Harold would be a slender man with pretty wild, unkempt hair, and as Bryn talked to him, he would appear almost constantly worried regarding everyone with wide eyes, but particularly Mastodon. His eyes would kind of flick between the two. And he'll mutter under his breath that he believes we never should have taken this mission.
Yeah, say it's a hard place in the world to find your way in, but can be rewarding. There's much in that city, at least rumored, that exists there that could do well for find something like that. I mean, essentially the city holds a treasure of what it had in its prime, but yeah,
I've heard the rumors.
yeah, and ever quiet, even in regards to this trip. Bryn will kind of take a look at Obak.
Obak is just kind of leaned back, relaxing, with his arms kind of clasped behind his bed, behind his head, staring up at the night sky, kind of just idly paying attention to the conversation. You can see some remnants of the stew hanging in his beard that hangs from his face. The dwarf is quite stocky and strong, and you can see a large polearm kind of laying behind him, never more than an arm's reach away. He kind of looks over out of one of his eyes to the guide and says, "About how many survivors are still left in there?"
From my understanding, there are a few thousand, although in its prime the city was much grander, I understand. But yeah, there are certainly a few thousand left within, potentially more, depending on if you count the creatures that stalk the streets and such.
Not a pleasant place to live. Well, hopefully we can get out of there with time to spare.
I know you said you don't go in the city yourself, but I'm assuming you are part of the Smugglers Guild, so do you know, is there anyone we could meet with? Point us in the right direction?
Yeah, as far as I understand it, once you make it past the entrance, I guess we can call it. Once you get past that, I believe there's somebody waiting on the other side. I'm not entirely sure who exactly it might be, but they will make themselves known to you. You have to understand the way this city operates, you know, with the many factions and creatures within the streets. One cannot be in one place for too long. So, I believe that there's certainly a watch, and when you are, you know, have earned your way through, you will be approached, and some more information will be given to you. But I myself kind of stops and kind of thinks a bit, kind of trails off and looks away. I myself just, you know, I handle the outside of the city situation, right? It's not, yeah.
Tell me of the legends you've heard, smuggler, of the orbs that lie within that city.
The orbs. Wow. You kind of squint his eyes and look at you. I think this will be the first roll of the game, because I'm assuming when you ask him this, you're looking at him pretty intently, right? Like, you know.
Absolutely.
So go ahead and give me a perception roll. There's a 22 total. Big roll. As you mention the orbs, his eyes kind of betray him for a moment. They kind of go wide, and then he kind of like, you know, he kind of regains his demeanor. Orbs. You can see him kind of looking up into the sky, like as if he's pretending to think. But you kind of see through it. You know that he knows something. That the rest of this is just kind of like a show, right? To kind of, you know, pretend like he's not necessarily there. He's kind of building up to something, but yeah, it's as he kind of finally, oh, the yeah, those things, orbs of Lena, I believe, is what you are referencing. Am I correct? As much as anybody else would know, I guess. Myth, legend, right? Yeah, some people believe they exist. Some people, you know, think they're just a story told to wide-eyed explorers and treasure seekers.
Harold takes a gulp.
Yeah.
And I can see your eyes went wide when I asked you. I will ask you again. What do you know of the legends of the orbs, specifically of the orb Lena? And I kind of lean forward a bit more, looking even more stern than before.
Yeah, he kind of it kind of like, you know, kind of like smiles, noticing he's been kind of found out. Well, I mean, I'd be lying if I told you that it's you know, it's not something that, you know, many people are interested in. I gotta say that many of you who I, you know, show the way into the city, many of you seem to be intent on finding the Orb of Lena. I have to tell you, Mastodon, out of the countless adventurers I have shown the way into the city, every single one that was looking for the Orb of Lena did not return. He kind of at this point, he kind of like looks around the campfire, almost like he's telling like a spooky campfire story, right? He kind of like looks around, you know, making sure that he's got the attention of all five of you. I thought when I first met you that maybe you'd be one of the smarter groups. not necessarily focused on these fairy tales, but you look of better stock than the others that have shown the way to. Maybe you indeed will return, but well, probably not. And I'll say one thing you recognize with that perception roll is that he didn't answer your question, right? He just kind of talked around it.
I've heard that before. No one else has been able to do it. They haven't returned. Nothing's taken me down yet. Doubt this city can do any worse than I've been through already.
Yet indeed, you'd kind of say. Well,
Before we retire for the evening, and since you beat around the bush, so to speak, I will ask you one last time to give me whatever information you have on this orb, so this wily bunch can be the first among many to make it out. And I stand up, kind of crack my knuckles a little bit, and I can roll an intimidation if you'd like.
You can roll in. Sure. Yeah, roll me into.
Alright. So I select intimidation on my main sheet, but the dice next to it is actually, the die is not highlighted.
Just click the 6 or whatever. Or rather, are you trying to do from the initiative bar?
Yeah.
What you want to do is go to the hand, the little, on the like symbols along the top line, and then click from there.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh yeah, 24. You didn't
Cracking those knuckles real good, bud.
Yeah, you crack the knuckles. He kind of lifts his hands up like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
No, settle down. It's all right. To be honest, I cannot tell you much. I've just had many following the path, attempting to find these orb and what have you. If I had to guess, rumors are that in its time that Almus had a system, a magical system that provided light to the city itself, all across. Rumors are that the orb is what powered this. Now, I'm not entirely sure. There are, in its age, many a great spellcaster and wizard and sort. So, is that true? I'm not entirely sure. But one thing I can tell you, some people believe that the orb itself is what caused that rift in Almus.
Mastodon smirks, nods his head, and sits back down.
What are the wardens doing to help with the rift? They're the ones supposed to be in the city, right?
Yeah, I could not tell you. I have no interaction with them. Maybe, some that you may find in the city can give you more information. All I know is that, they're headstrong and they're wanting to seal the rift and turn Almus back to its, its day as a city. I mean, much of the infrastructure is still there. It's not ruined. Despite the name, many of the buildings and foundation stand strong. If that problem was taken care of, the city itself could find its, make its way back. Those who'd been able to get out and return to their home, and Almus would find its place in this world again. But as long as that rift remains open, it's not likely that we'll see that day. And the wardens, as far as my understanding goes, want to close that rift, while others want to keep it open as long as they possibly can.
Harold speaks out quite meekly here, and he's going to address Bryn and ask him, have you ever seen anything come out?
No way. There's no meaning for me to be in that city. I just show people like yourself the way, and that is all I have to do. I can get you in, I can get you out, but I myself would never step foot in that city. Not with the things I've heard about it. No way.
Then we're going in blind.
It's unfortunate.
What side do you stand on? Do you want to close the rift or no?
Kind of thinks about it. No one's ever asked me that, really. And I haven't thought about it much.
Of course he doesn't want to close the rift. His whole business model relies on the city required.
He profits on destruction.
Don't put it in so many words. I mean, it's just an opportunity here, and
No, I don't blame you. But I'm just being frank.
Is that all of the smugglers, or just you?
It's a tough question to answer. I'm sure there are smuggler groups within the city that have ulterior motives, right? Other than profit. My own is kind of as you said, profit. There's an opportunity here. I'm willing to take the risk, and I can. I know these mountains quite well. I was born and raised not within the city, but in this region, so I am very familiar with these lands, and so if I can bring in supplies and help those that I knew at a time, then while also I mean, I'm not a charity case. I get paid for what I do, so of course that's always the case. But I'm not like the other smugglers that look to just jack up the price 500% for simple goods. I mean, that's outright extortion.
Seems like you don't know what you're talking about a little bit. Seems like you're just saying some stuff. But okay, we move on from this lovely campfire you set up for us.
Yeah. And I won't even have you make the roll to realize that. He doesn't really seem like all that knowledgeable. I mean, some parts of it definitely ring true, right? He knows these lands. He's been able to show you the way. Like, that's all true. But as far as like motivations and shit like that goes, like,
yeah, I don't think he knows anything about what his faction does. I think this guy is acting like purely off of one person. But anyway.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, it's very much the case. You get the read on it.
He's been ferrying jobbers back and forth to get bodied in this city left and right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Any other question?
Let us retire for the night. We've made this man piss himself enough for one evening.
Yeah. Bruno kind of like stretch his shoulders out, kind of look up at the night sky. Yeah. Well, you all get a fine rest, and I think tomorrow will be a successful day. So, yeah. As each one of you kind of retires for the evening, Brinmore himself has his own tent. He'll just kind of slink away into, kind of close down. Before long, the obvious sounds, him sleeping or there. So each one of you kind of falls asleep, waiting for the following day. If
Real
all
quick,
of you,
Trill. So Anton Cervantes, aka the Iron Purse, the man that has contracted us and tasked us with finding this orb of Lena, we all are in this predicament as independent contractors. Am I correct? Meaning that we did not know each other prior to this engagement.
yeah, except for I guess like you and Harold would have a history, right? But beyond that, you basically, yeah, you've been traveling with each other for a couple of weeks, but it's mostly been right like that's like the
I
getting
want
to
to
know each
clarify,
other
we
period.
don't have history. Just
Yeah, we don't really know
we don't
each
know
other.
each other.
He's
Oh,
just
okay.
been
It's the
eyeballing me
first
the
time
whole
I've seen
time
him. Yeah.
Okay, so
with
well,
his
so,
meek demeanor.
okay.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. Okay. So yeah, for the better part of the couple of weeks that you've had, making your way, yeah, right. That's been much of the case.
Cool.
Yeah, all right, just basic pleasantries, then nothing.
Yeah, exactly. If each of you all could roll me a d20, flat. So, no, this is not a check. This is just a straight.
Do that in
D20.
chat, right?
Yeah, it's like if you look at the
Astral
little,
D20.
yeah, or it's like, yeah, flash roll D20.
Yeah. We have the roller
Nice,
at the
Tommy.
bottom.
Perfect.
Nice roll.
Harold Lennon with the big 20.
Oh yeah.
Should go ahead and roll that one again for us, Harry.
We're waiting for a young
We're
Obak.
waiting for a big Obak roll.
There we go. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
So, yeah, one by one, each of you kind of makes your way and, separating from the campfire, maybe throwing a few logs, kind of last through the evening. Each of you kind of make your way to either your tent or your, like your sleeping arrangement. And kind of one by one, you each kind of fall asleep. This is something you've done a number of times, not a big deal. Harold, with that natural 20. As you sleep, as rest finally comes to you, you find yourself in a dream. You know that you're dreaming, but you feel like everything is extremely vivid. Right? This dream is right there. You wake up, in this dream. You know you're still asleep, but you wake up alone next to this campfire. It's just you. You look around. It's almost like the others have kind of abandoned you in the night. But you know that you're dreaming, right? There are things about the situation that you can tell just, maybe you haven't had experience with this. Well, actually, we'll say that this isn't the first time you've had this dream since you've been making your way through these mountains, right?
Okay.
This is reoccurring. As you kind of wake up, like for you, maybe at this point, it's like, fucking, you're tired of this shit, right? It's like, oh, right? What is this fucking dream? Wake up and something has changed. You turn and look to the fire. It's still there, kind of just kind of dying down, but still emitting enough light that you can see roughly around you in about 10 to 15 feet.
Can I move?
Yeah, you can move. Kind of get up, trying to pull yourself up out of your sleeping bag or tent. But you see a figure sitting across from you. Basically where Bryn was sitting, when you were awake, right? Just that, like, direct cross.
Yeah.
This dark figure is kind of sitting there, kind of leaning forward. This is new. This has not happened in the streams just yet. They're kind of sitting, and it looks like they're kind of intently focusing on the fire. You can't see their facial features. They've got this black hood kind of pulled up over their head, obscuring much of their physique. Although, even though much of it is obscured, you can tell that there's something off about the physical state of this person, right?
I'm gonna call out to them. Bryn?
Kind of call out. There's like a moment, there's like just a subtle movement, as like almost like they're gonna like look up at you, but they don't, right? Like their features never kind of come into light. But just kind of call out. You see like a movement underneath the long dark cloak that they're kind of thrown over their body. You see kind of pulling itself out like let's see. Yeah, you see this. It's almost like a claw. This hand starts to kind of pull itself out underneath the cloak. The fingers, the hand itself, it is massive, but it is stretched way too long. But it looks like a human's hand, right? And attached to it, this long arm that just continues to escape from underneath the cloak.
What in the hells?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna.
Can I detect magic?
You're sleeping. So no.
Yeah, you sleep.
Yeah, this is all Harold.
So at this point, I'm standing up.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I'm gonna make a dash for the exit and go towards the flame, the fire.
Okay. So you're gonna rush to the fire?
Yeah, outside. I'm assuming I'm inside the tent. Right now.
Absolutely. Okay. So you dive out, kind of, standing up to your feet,
Yeah, in a panic.
rushing forward. Yeah, in a panic. And this figure, another one of these arms kind of extends out. And it's got this wide reach on both hands. It's almost like the arms extend for 10 feet on either side. Like it's closing in on you, it's trying to grab you like in a big hug of sorts, right? Like the arms are just coming from both directions as this black kind of cloaked form just starts to approach you, like it's rushing at you. I'll say you stand up, you run forward, you make it to the fire. What do you want to do now?
I'm gonna whip around, and as I see the hands closing in, Harold is gonna freeze in place, ram his eyes shut, grit his teeth, and just wait to see what happens.
Wait to see what happens. Okay. Roll me another straight D20. You want a high number.
Oh.
Okay.
Outside.
Yeah. So, you, in this moment, right? Just full panic, fear. I mean, you're dreaming, so it really can't hurt, right? Like, there's a part of you that maybe you're just trying to force yourself awake as best as you can, right? Just like, close your eyes, grit down. Yeah, and just hope that, this all ends.
Too scary.
Unfortunately, that does not come, right? You pull your arms up, but you feel these massive, kind of extremely powerful gripping hands grab a hold of both of your forearms and pull your arms open, right? Kind of like forcing you in like the kind of like an iron cross position, right?
Yeah.
Just kind of rips your arms out. You can almost it's a dream, but fuck, it hurts as the pressure is put on your shoulders, right? As it feels like you're almost being, ripped in half from both sides. Kind of getting pulled. You'll hear this whispering voice. And it sounds low initially. You can hear like the first kind of like fainting whispers, but it gets louder, right? Until it's piercing your head, like something is jabbing something into your ear, right? Like just forcing like a pick into your ear.
At this point, Harold is full on screaming.
Yeah, absolutely. Full on screaming. But you hear this voice cutting through your brain like ice, right? Yeah, just kind of shredding through. And it's this whisper, but it sounds like there's so many more voices to it, right? It's like like a chorus.
We shall not abandon the dream.
And as this voice kind of hits you finally, you can finally make sense of the words. The pain in your skull just kind of vibrating violently, but the words finally come through. You will never. So, I wrote it down to be 100% sure, because this is very specific. Okay. You will never reach the orb in time. Leave it and these mountains. Almus has fallen. And finally, your presence is unneeded. So, as this kind of rips through your head, you're screaming. It's the next day. It's the next morning. The rest of you are woken by young Harold screaming in extreme pain. It shocks the rest of you awake. It's like right just as the sun kind of came up. There was still a couple of hours left for you to kind of sleep in just a bit more. But all of that has been completely tossed aside as the excruciating, painful scream emanates from Harold in his tent, causing the rest of you all to wake up. Even Bryn kind of wakes up with a startled, what's going on? Right, and he's like reaching around, trying to like grab hold of like a weapon or some sort. What are the rest of you doing?
Grab my 2 weapons. Go alongside
Okay.
our
I'm gonna
smuggler.
cast,
Try to see what the hell's going on.
I'm gonna cast guidance on Mastodon Watts. Pre-combat,
Okay.
if there is combat.
Yeah, you jump up, kind of right. Like you're immediately just trying to like jump into the fray, right? You give guidance to Mastodon.
Yep.
Yeah, I pop up, draw my great sword, and shout towards where I heard the noise. What's going on?
It's
Harold won't reply. At this point, he's woken up, but it's not as if he's noticing anything that's happening around him. He's continuously mumbling. Almus has fallen.
I'm gonna walk over towards his tent, noticing the general direction where the shouts came from and seeing that he's the only one not out here.
Yeah.
Say, you, meek one, what's your problem?
There's still no reply.
Alright.
Hey, Blondie, you want to get your special friend to stop screeching?
This man is not my friend. He's been eyeballing me like a whore for 2 weeks. And I lean down and just lightly slap him across his lips. Hey, get up. What's going on?
Harold will kind of yelp out of his little daze, and he's basically sweated through his clothes at this point. And he'll look at Mastodon, kind of he'll feel some kind of inspiration from being next to a guy who looks like Mastodon. And he'll try to collect himself, take a couple breaths, and then he says, I had a dream.
My God.
Bryn even speaks up like, dream.
And what occurred in this dream, little one?
There was a voice.
Yeah.
It told us to leave. It said, We'll never make it in time. Almus has fallen.
Almus has fallen. That's why we're here.
No, you don't understand. We'll never reach the orb in time.
The ugly smuggler told us the same thing last night.
Maybe he was right.
I'd lean in to John Lennon. No, not John. Harold Lennon. Hey. Even if there is no orb, which there probably isn't, there's got to be something of value in this city.
Oh, we're not leaving
Imagine
empty-handed.
there's no smugglers.
We're not
Yeah.
leaving empty-handed.
Yeah,
Take
Bryn-
yourself off.
Harold will take a nice big gulp. Kind of collect his things and stand up. See, I don't think I can stand around anymore.
Wash your face, boys, and let's get out of here.
I need to know that this one's going to be reliable and not cry every 2 seconds.
Harold kind of ignores the comment. Kind of fastens his satchels to his belt. Straightens his collar. And then he's going to walk behind Mastodon and just wait.
Didn't
Yeah.
realize they invited boys on this mission.
Bryn is
Let him,
he's
let
got
him
these-
stand behind me if he must.
Yeah.
I kind of just roll my eyes a little bit.
The Iron Purse saw value in him. Wouldn't have hired him if he didn't.
I'm sure he's got a trick or two up his sleeve.
Suppose we'll see.
Bryn has two long kind of daggers drawn in each hand, and now as the whole situation kind of finds itself settled, right? He kind of settles them both back into he's got like a number of like belts that cross his like stomach and chest. He's got a number of daggers, all kind of pitted in different locations. He just kind of returns them. All that noise for a bad dream. I mean, I didn't think I laid it on too heavy last night, but I guess those of you who are a bit more susceptible. Whatever. He just kind of, stops talking and turns around. Well, no time like the present. And he'll kind of turn and just start to get his shit packed up and ready.
Yeah, just get us into the city, man.
Yeah. Let's get this over with. I will need a nap in the afternoon. Sleep has been disturbed.
Yeah.
So the rest of you kind of pack up. Stupid. Dude. All right. Sorry. That's a good reference. So yeah, the rest of you kind of pack up. Kind of kick dirt over the fire to kind of hide whatever kind of tracks would remain. And you start the rest of your way. As you approach, we'll say that you wake up quite early in the morning. We'll say that you're up at 6:30, right? And so a couple of hours pass. Again, as even as you draw closer to the city, noise, all of that stuff just kind of remains at a hushed tone, right? All you can hear is just yourselves, right? You can even hear each other, breathing heavy as you're kind of climbing up the mountain, right? Having to kind of force yourself, to kind of push yourself physically, to continue the trek. All the while, Bryn is kind of up at front, seems unbothered by the whole thing. He's kind of treating it almost like a day hike, right?
I imagine it's like when Liu Kang and Johnny Cage went to the Netherrealm in Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah, I guess so. Actually, no. At this point, from where you're at, I would say it's actually much of the opposite. It's like nature has kind of reclaimed what at one time probably would have been, this close to the city, claimed land, right? Maybe on occasion you'd see a small kind of ruined an old farmhouse, just completely taken back, right? Buildings here and there, but for the most part, they look, quite destroyed, distraught, and nothing of value left. So, yeah, as you press on for about another, 2 hours or so, you see this up ahead, what looks like a large aqueduct, right? Still functioning. You can see some kind of water cascading off of it. And from a distance, Bryn will kind of like look to you. That's where we're headed. That's the way in. I'm giving motion to the aqueduct itself. There's a path up the side of it. But we have almost arrived at our destination. So, yeah, it's almost like the aqueduct potentially at one point had, further to go. It's almost like half finished, because at the end, water continues to kind of flow like a waterfall, right? Like just cascading off one end, with no continuation, like in sight, right? There's not even like ruins on the opposite side. It just kind of ends abruptly. So, it takes like another 30 minutes to kind of finally get right up close and personal to it, and up along the side of it there is a kind of a ladder system, and Bryn will kind of immediately kind of start climbing up, leading the way to the top. So each of you climbs. We don't have to make any rolls for that, right? Just make your way up, and you climb. And the aqueduct itself that you're climbing is probably like a good, it's like triple tiered, right? So it's like 3 on top of each other. And at the very top, I would say it's like a good 150 feet off the ground.
Snake eater type.
Yeah.
I suppose so, yeah. So when you get to the top, there is that rushing kind of water that it's almost like a river end, right? Kind of rushing out. Each one of you kind of climbs. I'll say, all right, well, and you'll point in the direction opposite of the way the water is, or where the water's coming from, right? And you can see a good distance up ahead. The aqueduct kind of actually disappears into the side of a mountain, right? Bores a hole straight through. And there is an opening, like above it, right? That's where all the water's coming from. That is the way in. As far as my understanding goes, the front gates are no longer a possibility, so we must go in from underneath the city.
You better be here in 5 days.
Well, I'll show you at least a good way in, but he just kind of like brushes off the comment, and we'll start to lead you through. And you travel for a bit until you kind of escape into the tunnel, right? The underground tunnel. You can hear the water kind of passing by, and the 6 of you kind of descend into the dark. Bryn himself will kind of get a torch going as he's kind of leading the way, and I guess those of you with night vision or dark vision, which should only be Obak, I believe.
I think
Could I cast light on my armor?
Sure. Yeah. So
I'll go ahead and do that.
absolutely. So yeah, you put a palm to your armor, and
my
yeah,
God.
Harold Lennon lights up.
I don't have I don't have night vision, but I do have alertness, Trill. If that helps.
Did you see where it's around you? Oh yeah, it just increases your
Yep.
proficiency. Yeah. So I would just say that you're very kind of aware of your surroundings. Like you pick up on all the little sounds, right? But so yeah, so in with the torch and Harold having kind of lit his own armor up, yeah, there's plenty of light as you all kind of descend into the tunnel of the aqueduct. This is definitely purposeful, right? This is all kind of built in. There's stone blocks all around you, right? You know, kind of securing and keeping this shape of the tunnel, right? So this was all done purposefully. This is not like just a random kind of cave or anything. And as you approach, I'm gonna say that Bryn Mawr will kind of suddenly come to a stop, right? And maybe it'll kind of catch you off guard, whoever's following up behind, kind of bump into the back of Bryn Mawr, and he'll kind of like, you know, jump and kind of move away. I need the 5 of you to roll me perception checks here. Because Bryn Mawr kind of says something softly to himself, but I need to see which one of you picks up on it.
Oh yeah.
Very
Trying
nice.
to find it.
Perception will be on your sheet.
Where am I? Oh yeah, I see.
Yeah. It's the little eyeball to the left.
Where? Oh.
Good stuff. So all those who will pick up on this, Jesus, dude, everybody fucking rolled really well.
Big timers.
Yeah, so everybody 20 and up, so everybody except Gregor. We'll say that Gregor, you're probably at the back. But Obak, Mastodon, Harold, and Turtle, the 4 of you here, tries. It's almost like he's making the remark just to himself. Just to himself. But it's loud enough for the 4 of you to pick up on. He says it's gotten closer, right? Like he's kind of talking to himself, closer. And at that mention of that, you look ahead, and you know how it looks when there's oil, like a sheen of oil on top of water, that like almost like rainbow effect,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That seems to be rising up out of the ground, like straight up through, and it's like cascading up, like almost like smoke billowing up from a campfire, right? But it has that like oily kind of sheen effect, rising from the ground, and directly ahead of you. That is all right. You have to pass through that to make your way forward. Well, I guess this is where I say my goodbyes. This is the furthest I can lead you.
Harold sees the kind of the sheen as it was. It's up ahead, and he's gonna call out to Bryn and ask, "The hell is that thing?"
I don't know. I don't go past it. It's my stop point.
There must be a reason.
I wouldn't know.
Gotta roll a perception on that.
Sure. Yeah.
He doesn't know shit, dude.
Let's see.
He's scared.
Yeah, I would say with that 17, he definitely, Brennan's coming off as like cowardly here, right? Like he's scared. Seems like he wants nothing to do with the path forward, right?
Is he being honest when he says he doesn't know what the sheen is?
Yeah, it seems like he's being honest. Like he's just straight up just like, I don't fucking know, but you know, I don't go past it. That's my right. That's his rule, right? His personal rule. I don't go past that. So.
Gotcha.
Have
We'll
you
see
seen what
you in
happens
a...
when someone does pass it?
Yeah, they walk right through. I just don't want to be the one to do it, you know?
What we're in right now, is it all like stone on the roofing and all that, on like the top?
Exactly.
Okay, so there's nothing I could like grapple arrow onto to just avoid walking on that?
Well, here's the thing: is like it's almost like a sewer that you're in, right? With a river flowing next to you, and even across the like the small little kind of aqueduct river, there's another kind of like stone walkway, right? But it's like just wide enough for one person, the same as the one you're on. You're basically walking in a straight line, you know, one after the other. As you look ahead, it's billowing like all the way across the tunnel, like all the way up. It's coming up through the water itself, the stone path that you're walking, even along the sides. Like it's like a wall, right? You can see past it, but it has that like weird kind of oily sheen effect as it rises up out of the ground and seems to disappear up into the stone above, right? It's not collecting, it's like going straight through.
Alright, so there's no way to like avoid walking.
No, there's not.
Okay, alright. Who wants to go first? I say we send the boy.
Harold's gonna reach into his satchel and take a sling to hand, along with a little bit of ammunition, and with a gulp, he's gonna step forwards first and move through the sheen.
Oh wow, I didn't think you'd actually do it.
Damn.
He's brave.
So, how do you? Yeah, step right through, and yeah, you pass through. You don't smell anything, you don't feel anything on your skin, right? As you kind of pass through this rising, you know, whatever it is, you make your way in, and you're fine.
He's gonna take a big sigh of relief and call out to the rest of the gang. Come through, it's safe.
Obak will shrug and follow.
I'll step through as well.
All right,
Yeah,
one after the other.
Go
Pass it
through.
on. Any weird feeling or anything like that walking through it?
Nothing.
Alright.
So, you each one after the other, you pass through, make your way, and yeah, one after the other, you pass right through. You don't feel anything. You don't feel any different as you stand on the opposite side and you look back, and Brendan is just kind of standing there with his torch, kind of watching. So he kind of calls out. He's got like a good, 15, 20 feet from where this like, I guess like this wall, I guess you would call it. He kind of stays back. I'll be just at the entrance. Well, with the daylight, right? I'll stay for 5 days, and if you are not there on the 6th, then I will make my leave.
And if any advice for if we came out on the 6th day, just in case we need to make our way out alone.
Kind of things. Good luck.
Right.
Guess we'll try to follow the path we took as best as we could.
Try to get to the shore. That's probably it.
Where's the shore from here? North, south, east, west?
North.
Okay.
Well, good travels. And may I see you in within 5 days. And he'll kind of just
Same
give you a
to you.
nod. Go ahead.
No, same to you.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
die while you wait.
Not a chance. And he just kind of turns and makes his way out, leaving the party to only be guided by the single light of Harold's armor.
My guiding light.
So who's I guess now I should get some marching orders. Who's up front? Who is where in the group?
Wherever Mastodon is, I'm just gonna be behind Mastodon.
Okay.
Obak will take the front with his polearm out.
Oh yeah, and dark vision. Yeah.
I'm hanging in the back.
Yeah. I'll take second behind Obak with my great sword drawn. And so in front of us, we just see this catacomb sewer straight ahead with
Yeah.
no light at the end of the tunnel.
No light at the end. It's just nothing down into pitch blackness. even Obak, right? Even though you've got dark vision, you're moving away from any bit of light that would help, right? Kind of illuminate some of the locations around you. So even you kind of in the immediate area, there's plenty of light because Harold is kind of reflecting that, right? Like he's got it emanating from his armor with his light cantrip, and you know every time it runs out, you just knock it back on, right? No problem. But yeah, even to you, Obak, as you take lead, you do not see an end in sight to the tunnel.
Bro, can I use animal form?
Animal form?
Uh-huh.
All right. What do you?
I want to turn into a snake and travel with these guys as a snake. I don't want my human form.
Okay. Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have animal form?
You're gonna turn into a snake?
You're
Absolutely.
just coiling around someone's neck or what?
Yeah.
So you're gonna use your one wild shape to turn into a snake?
It's after long rest, though. No?
Let me see. A long rest? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you only have the ability to turn into pest, so like a cat, lizard. We'll say a snake
No.
works. We'll say a snake works. I'll say
No. What do you mean? I have Order of Explorer, right? And then I'm Wild Order, and then Wild Shape.
yeah, but oh, sorry, I got it wrong.
Oh, good.
So you can polymorph into any form listed in pest form for 10 minutes. All other wild shape forms only last 1 minute. So I think wild shape in this is meant to be more of like a full-on.
Probably an attack move. Yeah.
Yeah. Rather than like I'm just a different.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Right.
I'm good.
So.
I'm good then. I just move.
Yeah. You got Chani there with you, right? So. Yeah. You keep with the dog. So. As you make your way through with Obak at the lead, you travel for some time. Let's go ahead and get another round of perception checks as the party moves forward. Okay. So Turtle Run, despite not being up front, there is something to you that feels strange. It's almost like the air has shifted in this this tunnel that you're walking in, right? And you feel this almost like this sense of dread stopping, right? It makes you want to stop continuing forward, right? You feel like you need to stop walking forward. You need to stop right now.
Can I cast Detect Magic real quick?
Detect Magic.
I'm gonna yell to the group, just stop moving.
Yeah, as you kind of yell out, your voice carries, right? It carries like in an echo down the rest of the tunnel, right? Stop moving, right? You know, and it just, you hear that over and over, emanating forward. Does everybody stop?
I didn't yell in like a
stopped.
panic. I didn't yell in like a panic.
Oh, okay,
So,
all right.
I just
We'll
want
say
to
that.
make
Harold
that.
also stops.
Okay. So everybody kind of stops, hearing this. You detect magic, and as this kind of pulse emanates, you've got 30 feet of emanation with that. So, so from you, 30 feet around you, beyond anything that the others may have magical on them, which I'm not entirely sure. If anybody has a magical, I think technically Mastodon's sword would ring as magical, but beyond that, you don't feel anything except that when you tell everybody to stop, everybody kind of immediately stops, kind of on your guards. Maybe those of you with weapons drawn kind of hold on tighter, kind of looking around you as Turtle Run has kind of called a break to this group. And up ahead, I'm gonna say, Obak, despite your bad roll, I mean, you're up front and you're on your guard now. I'll say, Mastodon, you're a big guy, so I think the only two people who can really see this are gonna be Mastodon and Obak. The two of you look up ahead, and about 100 feet ahead of you, you see this light kind of appearing. And stepping out from the side, like the side of the wall, kind of stepping out into the path, to your point of view, you see this large horned creature stepping, like it comes from the side of the wall. The horns kind of rear up and then back like ram horns. And there is in their hand there is a flaming sword as they kind of step out and they turn and they look in your direction. And what you see essentially, to give a better description, maybe I can post a picture for you in the Discord. So, yeah, up ahead of you, you see here we go. I'm gonna post it in the Job Squad Discord just for you guys to see. You see this? Step out, stop, kind of look in your direction directly. Like, you know, it stops like if you ever like seen like a wild animal, like in wild, kind of stop and like look, its whole body stops moving. Same as yours, right? But the weapon in his hand is just releasing these flickers of kind of red flame. And it kind of stands, and it has its head turned towards you, and it's just looking, kind of paused in this moment. It is 100 feet out, so it is quite a bit of ways, like 150 feet ahead of you, and it seems to have come from like this, you know, this outside, out of the side of the wall, right? I'm stepping out into the path.
Can we see it? Besides the sword, obviously.
Yeah, only
like?
Mastodon and Obak can get a good look at this creature.
Right.
Obak, you see that flame demon ahead?
Absolutely. What the fuck is that?
A monster we're about to slay. The rest of you, there's a monster that lies ahead. And he looks scary. Ready up.
Gregor would grab his bow, preparing for a fight with said monster.
All right. 150 feet out, it stands there. The rest of you kind of ready yourself up. You know, hearing the words of Mastodon, right? Having to trust just his judgment of 1d seats. But the creature...
Who's first?
It's Obak and Mastodon who are like up front.
Okay, I'm gonna use guidance on Obak.
Okay.
This time, I'll go
Sure.
Obak.
All right. The creature's kind of looking in your direction, and then it'll turn its head to the side, looking basically on the direction that it was walking. It was continuing to head in one direction, and it starts to resume that path. Kind of takes a step forward, and you can see, lit up by the flame of the weapon that it holds in its hand, there's like a sort of grating that kind of acts as a bridge across the water. And, you know, it kind of turns, looks at you for a moment, and then resumes its path and continues to head forward with the weapon drawn. Like, you know, it brushes you aside, basically. It just continues on its path before it disappears into some side hall that you can't see just yet, but the flame, it's almost like the creature kind of walks into the wall and then is gone.
Are Obak and Mastodon still the only people who could see him?
Indeed.
Okay.
Or not. Be ready. We're definitely not alone in these tunnels. Looks like there's cross sections too.
Can I send Cheney up a little bit further?
Sure. You want to send your dog up?
Yeah, I'm gonna send him. I'm gonna send him to run up like further than Obak and Mastodon.
Okay. Yeah, quick.
I wanna. Yeah.
Gets up front.
Can he do a perception?
I don't at this point I don't think he has to. I think he can see Yeah, I think
Okay.
China can see the creature kind of walk across and then
Okay. Mhm.
continue on its path in the tunnels of Almus.
Should we trail it? Where'd it go? I asked Obak and Mastodon.
It continued on the path. It paid us no mind. It seems that it's not afraid of us at all.
Should we follow it then?
We have nowhere else to go.
We follow it, or do we keep heading straight on our current trajectory? That would be turning off on a side haul.
I have a compass, so we won't get lost. Having said that, Harold will then pull it out to see if it's functioning normally.
Yeah, you pull your compass out and it is spinning wildly.
Harold just stares at it for a few seconds and says, "Oh," and puts it back in his pocket.
Let's press forward. We'll make that call when we get there.
All right.
Obak will continue forward then, leading him up to the junction.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you continue up. Do you leave Chani up front? Turtle Ray? Or do you call the dog back after the 5 of you start moving again?
Asa?
Rest in peace, Channy.
Yep.
What do you
Yep.
do?
You pulling the dog back, or are you gonna?
You just said yep twice. You pulling the dog back, or you keeping it up front?
I don't know. I'm thinking about it. I'm looking at his skill. I'm looking at his skills.
Dog's about to get fucking roasted,
All
buddy.
right.
Is he if he's not detecting anything other than what we know, then yeah, I'm gonna pull him back.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So,
Obak will kind of pat the dog as it passes back to the back of the line.
fair enough. Yeah. So the 5 of you, the 5 of you press forward until you get to that junction. The creature did not, just kind of, show up out of stone itself. There is a path to the right that is very narrow, very, very narrow. And there is a small kind of grate that acts as like a bridge across the water. And there is another path that continues on the way that it was walking. That is also extremely, extremely narrow. So, one thing that you do see is the 5 of you arrive. As you look down, there's very clear evidence that this creature was walking here, right? The stone itself is kind of burnt from where this creature stepped foot, right? And even the metal of the grate that acts as the bridge, you can feel it emanating some heat despite the creature, having. At this point, as you look down the tunnel, the pathway it went, the creature's kind of long gone, right? Like even the light emanating from the sword is no longer within sight. So you have 3 options available to you. You can go right, which is the direction from where the creature came. You can go left, which is where it went. Or you can continue the path forward. And I think I'll retcon and say that that's probably what Bryn would have suggested you do. But choice is in your hands, the group.
Considering we only have 5 days to do whatever Bryn needed us to do, and we have no idea what we just saw, the obvious choice is to go straight.
Obak would agree. There's no need to get distracted by whatever that was. If it paid us no mind, there's no need to pay it any.
Yeah,
I'll follow your lead, Master Watts.
We'll follow along the path. We'll see plenty more demons soon.
Fair enough.
All right then.
Alright, so, with a final kind of look at the path created by the demon creature, you press forward, continuing on your path, not straying on either side. Damn. But so you press forward and After another 30, maybe 45 minutes or so pressing onwards in the dark, it becomes apparent to the 5 of you that you hear up ahead the sounds of trickling waterfalls, right? And as you continue to draw closer and closer, that sound gets a bit louder, right? The volume of it is growing. You're definitely approaching something where there are waterfalls. So I think this is the time to go ahead and activate this. So, all right. Thankfully, you have a light source. So, as you look, this shield that you see acts as the whole party, right? It's easier this way. It allows me to move it, right, as you press forward, and you can decide on whatever path you so wish as you continue on.
Cool.
So, it's appropriate music going. But assume that each one of you are kind of in line, right? Obak, I've already got the marching orders down, so it's Obak, Mastodon, Herald, Turtle Run, and then Gregor.
And we're inside now, or is this like a culvert, like an
So,
aqueduct?
yeah, I'll say this river here has been the one that's been passing by the entire time, right? So, as you approach forward, you have an option here. As it now kind of finally gets to this point, you look around, you can see, right, across the way, you can see it's very dark here, right? So you're only able to see as much as you can all around you. But to your right, there are a number of kind of stones from that have probably fallen in, and it looks like a couple of vases that have been left broken against the ground. To your left, there is like a makeshift wooden bridge that leads to the opposite side. And as you get to this point now, you feel something grabbing and pulling at your feet. If you look down, you'll see like this, almost like this left behind, there's this substance that is left along the floor all around. That like it's almost like sticky paper, right? Like you feel it tugging and pulling at your boots, not wanting to just let you walk freely. It's not enough to stop you entirely. You're still able to move. But it's definitely like a bit of an annoyance as it kind of grips at your boots.
Can I do a nature roll on that?
Nature?
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. See if you've ever seen something like this before. Is that what you're looking?
Yeah.
Oh, the 26. That's a really good one. As do you lean down? Do you like do you grab at it like you wipe your fingers through it or something?
No, I don't touch it.
Okay.
I'm gonna, yeah, I don't want to touch it. Just
Perfect.
what's on my boots.
Okay, just what's on your boots.
Maybe
Just look
smell.
down. Yeah. There's no obvious smell to any of it. It seems just like strange substance. With a 26, with a nature check here, you get the feeling that you feel like you've seen this out in nature numerous times. I'm gonna say you don't know what creates it, but you know it's natural, right? Like it comes from like a creature of some sort.
Creature. Okay.
Yeah, often found within the woods or places like this.
Does it hinder our movement at all?
Only slightly.
Okay. Could I roll athletics just to ensure I'm using, a little bit extra on my steps and my movement?
Sure. Yeah. $19? Yeah. I mean, it's not enough to hinder you, like I said. So you're not gonna have to I guess the meta talk is that it's not difficult terrain. It's not gonna cut your movement in half.
Right. Okay.
But
It's noticeable.
but yeah, like it's it's noticeable from like I guess like a roleplay standpoint.
Okay.
But so from where you look around, as you check around your space, there are a number of paths that all kind of go off in their own direction, right? This path here continues to up forward. There's another like roughly made like a small little wooden bridge, and it seems to connect to another starting point. And then you're already on the side, but you can see from where you're standing what looks to be potentially another path here, but then it continues on even further here. So, which way do you want to go?
We all agreed to go forward, right?
This kind of opens up though, right? This would have been the tunnel that you've been walking the whole time, like the size 20
This
feet.
would have been forward.
No, sorry. Where you're at now is forward, right? This is what I'm saying is behind you.
The direction.
Yeah, off that direction. Yeah.
So behind us, to the left and to the right, is where the demon came from and to.
Yeah, like way back. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And we had heard a bit of like a trickle of a waterfall, or at least the river kind of increasing in flow. Is that happening right in front of us, or further down the tunnel still?
Absolutely. The water here is definitely much faster than it was like further down the tunnel. And I'm going to say that from where you're standing, you can hear noises coming from up this way, which would indicate, sorry, I'll do it closer to you, up this way, which indicate, but just up than indicate that there's some sort of waterfall up that way. But what you're hearing now is there's definitely more than one, right? You can hear it echoing off the walls of this kind of large, almost like a sewer system.
Does the water seem deep from what we can see?
It's extremely dark. You can definitely take a chance at dipping your foot in if you'd like.
Ovak would like to do his signature move of dipping the blunt end of his pole arm down in to check the depth of the water. See what we pull up this time.
So the polearm gives you 10 feet. How long is the let's assume is like what the length of the polearm would be.
It's like probably 7 or 8 feet then, especially because I have a giant one.
Yeah, giant one. So we'll say that it's larger than so we'll say 7 foot. All right. So you the signature move, right? With the blunt end, you press it down into the water, and you're having to hold on to the blade portion, and it leaves about 1 foot of the blade above water as you finally come to the bottom. So it's roughly about 6 to 7 feet.
Well, I ain't walking in that shit.
Yeah.
Not deep enough to, unless you just don't know how to swim, but probably not deep enough to drown in, but deep enough to, you'd have to swim in it rather than walk.
What is life without choices? I point over here, here. Which way? This is all uncharted territory.
I say we go straight down. Yeah, over there.
Okay.
Ovak will agree.
All right. So, I'll say that the party continues forward. So, you get to about this point. All right. And you can see
bridge.
Yeah, another bridge across the way. But from what you can see, there's the remnants of like what would have been a door here at some point that's just been completely bashed in. So as you look down, you can see a number of like shipping boxes, all sorts. And I'll say that maybe as the group, maybe you draw like one closer. Yeah. We'll say in passing as you're making your way that way, right? You just kind of duck in for a moment, and yeah, that's all you can see.
I'd like to take a look in there.
You would like to?
Yeah. See, I mean, if anybody else got any objections?
Yeah,
Obak
it
will
looks
say,
like a clear room. I'm gonna send the dog in there.
All
Yeah,
right,
send
fair
your
enough.
dog
Sure.
in there
Could I
first.
see what's just above the crates? Looks like scrolls.
Absolutely. Let me close this
I'd
over.
like to.
Hey, whoops.
I'd like to
Missed it.
Hey, oopsie.
Yeah,
go
well,
have a look at those boxes specifically and rummage through the scrolls, see if there's anything of note.
fair enough.
Obak will kind of stay in the doorway to kind of keep watch, as the rest seem curious about what's in the room.
Can I do like an investigation roll as I look through shit?
It would still be, unfortunately, it'd still be, perception, but, so,
Perception.
yeah. So,
Are you fucking kidding me?
there we go. Alright. So, we'll say the group has made its way in, right? And a number of you are kind of looking around. The natural one. I'm gonna say that, Gregor, you kind of go over to the vases, right? Kind of looking. And I'm gonna say that, as you're looking around, you smash one, right? You're kind of like, you're attempting to kind of pick it up and look inside, and it just slips from your hand, and just cracks and shatters against the ground. It seems like, in your best effort, that the vase itself was probably the value, and it being destroyed now is rough, right?
Whatever. Can't carry a vase with me throughout
Yeah.
this whole journey.
So, but Harold, you take a look at the scrolls and such, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there are a number of scrolls in here, and I'm gonna say with the 21, as you're looking through, a lot of it seems like old maps of the area, right? And I'm gonna say with the 21, because it's a really good roll here, that you come across one of the city itself, which may not be important in this moment, but will potentially be important down the line.
I'm gonna roll that up and walk over to Obok and offer it to him.
Fair enough.
Say, here. I think it's a map of the city.
Obak will accept it and kind of unfurl it to take a quick look, and then pack it away for the time being.
So, with that taken care of, is anybody else wanting to search around this old, or whatever it would have been? Or are you content with moving forward?
Nope. I think the three that got chosen, the chosen people, so to speak, searched enough for
Fair enough.
goods. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Cool.
good.
Alright, nice. So, back to continuing your journey forward. So, come up, continue. So, we'll say that you get to here, and I'm going to say as you look down at the ground, that substance that has been grabbing at your feet continues to grow. Like there's more and more of it. You look across, you can see a number of paths right available to you. You can see across the way more bridges that connect around. Looking up, there was an additional bridge. You can see some more broken boxes to the north of you. So, when you get to this point, the goal is to continue pressing onwards.
I suppose, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah.
Yep,
Alright.
no
At this point, I'm
choice.
just in line, following whatever the man ahead of me is doing.
All right. So I need specifically Obak and Mastodon who are leading. I need the two of you to give me perception checks here.
Oh,
Okay. All right. Nice. So you continue to press forward up until this point. So we need to do this here. I'm gonna move that back. Go. So it's Mastodon. Gregor's up there. Yeah, Obak is there. Thorn, Turtle, Johnny. We've got the whole group
And
here.
it begins. It motherfucking begins.
So, as you walk across this portion, I need you walk across Obak. You're at the point where you're at the other bridge, right? You can see everything. You can see the path up ahead and around you. You walk through this thicker portion of it, kind of paying no mind to it. Before, in a moment, you feel yourself. You feel it pull away from you, right? Like as you step on it, rather than gripping at your shoes, you feel it slide underneath your feet. And in this moment, I need. It's a 50-50. 1 and 2. This is Macedon. 3 and 4. This is Harold. As this form, as this 2 4s, Jesus. As this form arises underneath your feet, you've stepped onto this cube-like creature. And let me just move it for a second.
Fucking ice cube.
So it is going to engulf you. I need you to click your token, make that reflex if you can.
Ooh, Harold.
No, this is Harold. All right. I'll move it just for the sake of viewing clarity.
Very respectful.
Oh man, it's a success. Okay, so
We're doing big things.
yeah. Reflex. So any monster that moves can protect it to avoid being engulfed. Because you're unable to automatically fulfill the. So you can choose to be either pushed aside, so pushed back, or out into the water. And I'm going to say that unfortunately, because we have this train of Turtle Run, Turtle Run, Johnny, and Gregor, I'm going to say that unfortunately, even though you succeed at pulling away from the creature and not becoming engulfed by it, you are pushed over the edge and splashed down into the waters below. And at this point, I think we all need to make initiative rolls.
Hope you can fucking swim, bud.
Obak is kind of gonna attempt to just like jump away, giving him some clarity of the situation and use athletics to roll initiative.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, I am going to ready up, fucking crank my hips down, utilizing my athletics.
Gregor's kind of hang halfway between this wall and halfway out in the hall. Try to
My
get a
God.
stealthy approach.
Big motherfucking natty 20.
Huge.
2 nat 20s
Dirty.
on the initiative roll.
Wow. Yeah.
Very nice. All right. So
The revolting blob is about to get hit.
exactly, dude. So let's get some appropriate music going, and let's begin this encounter with Turtle Run. This large cubed creature rises up out of the ground, suddenly taking a shape and form as it morphs up right in front of you.
Mm-hmm. He has attack of opportunity right now on me, right?
If it has
that ability, it's not a guarantee like it was in D&D.
Mm. There's no way of knowing, obviously.
No, not unless you try. Be the guinea pig.
No.
I'm getting a call from. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
How dare you!
I'm gonna use pest form this time.
Okay. So you're gonna.
I'm gonna transform into a rat, which I think is appropriate.
Okay. All
Go
right.
down here. Yes.
So, go ahead and post it. Pest form. There you go. You're still there, but you're a pest. So, oh, you know what? Let's switch this up too real quick.
I could still use spells as well during pest form. It doesn't say I can't.
So you use 2 of your actions to immediately turn into a rat.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And I have 1 more action, right?
Yes.
I'm going to run away.
Okay. Which way?
Right here.
That's across the water.
Okay.
You'd have to make a jump or something.
Okay.
Or just move back.
Yep.
Leave your dog up front. Perfect. Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So, Turtle Run immediately turns into a rat. Rushes away underneath the feet of both Johnny and Gregor, slipping past. So, with that. Perfect.
Sorry.
All right. Up next, Mastodon.
Did we do big things?
I did small things.
Turn into a rat.
Oh, he's a rat-like creature now.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see here. This thing is a cube-like blob.
Yeah.
Very
It's a
scary.
Jello cube. So like,
Okay. I will go ahead and I will attempt to we never settled this Trill, I suppose, prior to. But could I say that during my long rest, my blade ally property would be fearsome?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Let me.
It only frightens if it's a critical hit.
Yeah. Let me add it though.
Okay.
Please. Here's. There you go.
Sweet.
All right.
I will attempt to feint on this loser.
Okay.
Great sword drawn. I kind of give him a little look that maybe he's not used to seeing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
do I have to click anything for that? Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. Target it and then feint. Yeah, and the creature has to make a. Oh no! You attempted deception against the
Deception.
target's perception, which.
Oh
Double.
my god, a loser.
Yeah, either the enemy is against you entirely off, target is off guard against melee attacks.
Big natty 20 on that one.
2 in a row, man. Jeez.
Let me see something real quick.
It just starts jiggling and peeing.
you hit him with that
Okay.
Adesanya type feint, Pete.
Absolutely.
Okay, so, yeah, this is because the thing is that this creature doesn't have any vision, so.
Right.
But I guess it's motion, but it does have motion sense. So I'll say that, yeah, I'll say it works. There you go.
Very respectful.
The end
And
of your
in
next
his
turn. Yeah.
jobber form, I will go ahead and I will attempt to swing my greatsword down on it.
Okay. Definitely hit. Go ahead and roll damage there. $10 points, absolutely. So Yeah, you swing your blade through this gelatinous form of this creature, and it kind of carves through. But as soon as your blade leaves the creature, it just kind of congeals itself back into this this cube form.
Okay. Would this thing, by the way it appears, look like it's undead?
No. So the skeleton stuff that's inside of it, that's just that's like
right.
Picture
what it's
art.
absorbed.
Yeah, that's not what it's actually. The creature itself is just this cube
blob.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Well, I guess I have no other choice but to swing on it again. I don't think my Touch of Corruption or Lay on Hands is gonna do anything to this fucking thing.
Swing on it, man.
I'm gonna swing on his ass again with that +5.
You swing a second time, narrowly missing as the form of the creature kind of, having learned from your last attack, kind of opens itself up as the blade passes through, unconnecting with the creature itself, and then quickly kind of closes back up into a solid form. So, that is your turn.
Yep.
Gregor, what are we doing?
Having seen that the gelatinous cube is susceptible to physical attacks, Gregor, having already readied his bow when the group saw that demon, draws back and fires off 2 shots.
Okay. 2 actions, 2 hunters. Aim. First one, it's going to roll the second one just to be sure.
Whoops, sorry.
Oh, good.
The fuck is that shit, damn?
Unfortunately, this creature is immune to crits, so you just have to roll straight damage there.
Yo, what is this damage die, bro?
Alright, so it'll take the 2 and the 1. So, as the arrows pierce through the creature, both of them kind of get caught inside, and immediately you can see, actually, the 2 arrows kind of suspended as they are. The wooden parts of the arrow shaft immediately start to kind of like already like they're sizzling within this creature.
Like heating?
Yeah, like heating up, like the wood is already starting to kind of fracture and break apart.
Kind of dissolve.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
kind of dissolving.
Give me 30 seconds, guys. Keep going.
Unbelievable.
So you got one more action, I believe.
Do I? I use 3, right?
Oh yeah,
Hunter's
you
aim
used the
is
hunter's
2.
aim.
Yeah. That
Sorry.
applied, right?
Yeah, that would have applied, like, because you hit no matter what. And
Okay.
unfortunately, because it is, it is, yeah, it would have hit anyways, and because it's immune to crits, it doesn't matter. So, all right, 3 turns.
Sure.
All right, perfect. Obak.
I would like to rage. What the?
Perfect.
Back.
I'm targeting myself this time, and it still didn't apply.
Oh, it's in your character sheet. If you open up your character sheet.
Like that?
Yeah. I think
Oh,
it'll
an
just
apply effect.
There.
Okay, gotta do it through there. Cool.
There you go.
Alright, and then would like to swing.
Perfect.
Oof. Wow, still hits. Still.
Still hits. You wanna roll damage? 20 points of damage, absolutely. Big swing cleaves through this creature.
I'll begin to like kind of slice away at the corners of it, trying to get rid of some of the more vulnerable parts of it.
Absolutely. Go ahead and roll normal damage. Alright. hack at it. So, both times as your blade passes through the creature, yeah, it carves through, and then as soon as it kind of comes out, the form just kind of refigures itself immediately. So, I believe that's all 3 actions.
Yep. Ooh, nice.
All right. So, take that off. We'll turn it back on whenever it gets around to Mastodon. So, from where it's at, because you're right there, it's going to target a Mastodon watch with a strange, like, forming whip strike. That's going to hit. Mastodon is going to take 6 points.
Oh my. Oh wow.
Also, this should be gone. Alright. Unless are you gonna use that thing? Or no? Are you gonna save that?
No, I'll take the 6 points.
Okay. Take 6 damage, and then
Oh, I already added it. Sorry. I'll
well,
put it back.
okay.
Yeah.
And then I need you to make me a fortitude saving throw here.
Where is fortitude?
Should be to the left.
Right under initiative.
Yeah, right under initiative.
Oh, I see.
You make it. So, as the whip of the cube smacks against you, yeah, you as the whip of the cube kind of smacks against you, you feel like your body wants to clench and stop moving, right? Like it tightens up for a moment, like almost all your muscles kind of activating, kind of like all flexing to force you to stop. But you're able to just kind of power through it and shake it off. Those of you with attacks of opportunity, go ahead and use them if you'd wish, because the creature is going to use another move. Alright, go ahead and roll damage on that. Normal damage. Alright. So, creature is going to engulf.
Big.
It's going to move as it does so here. Passing on through, and I need you to make me a reflex saving throw.
Oh
Is
shit,
that
he's
one to
berserk.
click in the thing? Yeah, okay, sweet.
Very rough.
Oh.
Very rough. So, you are pulled into the monster's body. So, you are grabbed. You're also slowed 1. And
Get me out of here!
yeah, you have to hold your breath or start suffocating.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, so you take, as you are engulfed, wow, very nice, but take 6 points of damage, which I guess eats away at the at the temporary hit points. And then engulf creature against the cave DC. You can attack, but only with unarmed or with light weapons of light bulk. So
Hey, can he move?
no, he is stuck inside this creature now, completely.
No, I know, but can he move while within it?
No, he's he can
Completely
attempt
suspended.
he can attempt to escape, but yeah, the rest of you just see this creature just like slide down, like flat against the ground, move underneath your feet, and then pop back up, except completely engulfing Obak, and Obak is just kind of suspended there in motion. Yeah, so slowed 1 makes you have fewer actions. This means you only have 2 actions next turn, and you're like immobilized and grab all that shit. So that is the creature's turn. I'm gonna have it stay here, even though technically it's right here, right? Well, actually works for me. So. All right, Thornton. as you splash into the water, the dark, nasty water of the sewers, you feel the current wanting to pull you away. What are you doing though?
So after thrashing around for a little while, as everyone else starts the fight, Harold's gonna grip onto the side near where Mastodon is and reach up, pull himself up, reach up to his weapon, and kind of lay his palm on the base of it, and I'm gonna cast Runic Weapon on Mastodon's sword.
Alright. So, while you're doing that, I need you to make me a, I think you need to give me an athletics check. I'll say that you can do the Runic Weapon, no problem.
Hello?
Okay.
Low roll.
So I'll say you can reach up and grab onto Mastodon. So go ahead and post the Runic Weapon. I'll say you get that off, but in doing so, you start to... The river is pulling you. And so I'm going to say that it pulls you 10 feet this way. So you reach up, grab onto Mastodon, just enough to kind of get that spell off, but the current starts to rip you away.
I have another action left. Could I
I'll
use
say-
that to move?
Yeah, you can attempt to kind of climb up out of the side if you wish.
Yeah, could I try and move on to the opposite side? Over here?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, absolutely. I'll say... Yeah, fuck it. Go ahead and give me another athletics check. Because I don't want to punish you for the first one. That makes sense. Separate action. More than enough. I'll say that you're able to just pull yourself up and onto the edge. Outside. What the fuck happened? Okay. Wait, okay. Yeah, you're able to just get yourself up and out of the water before the rest of it kind of rips you out of the tunnel that you were previously pulled in, right? So you kind of pull yourself up, and we'll say that you're prone against the bank here, right? As yeah. And actually, this is just roll me a perception check here. With a 16, as thick as that substance was on the opposite side, it's even thicker here. But
Wow, okay.
turtle run, you've turned into a rat. You've rushed away from the fight.
Yeah, can I turn back into my human form?
Sure. You want to drop the pest
Yeah.
form? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and... There you go.
I just didn't want to get attack of opportunity, man.
Fair enough. Okay. You don't want to be engulfed. It's a tough tough spot to be in.
No. I'm gonna use guidance on Mastodon Watts, so that's what, 2 actions?
Yeah, so I think you can drop the pest
I
form
think
for
that's
free.
free, right?
Yeah, I think you can drop it for free. And then... Yeah.
Okay. And then I have one more. I'm gonna use it on my dog.
Okay. What are you doing on the dog?
Mm,
Oh,
I
you're
don't
going to
think-
use the action for the dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Can I move and attack here?
Yeah, you
Or
got
am I
2
being
actions.
blocked?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
but am
I'll
I
s-
being blocked?
Based on the way... I'll say that you can move there. Yeah, I'll say it's fine. Like, it's enough for the dog to kind of... Yeah, like, just bite through, right?
Okay.
See.
Yeah. So it's 2 actions for him, 1 action for me, right?
Yeah, so...
So move and attack, but no.
So he moves, but the attacks doesn't hit, right? And so just as a... So... Obok, you are able to hold your breath for a number of rounds equal to 5 plus your Constitution modifier. So I believe that's 8 rounds in total. Okay, so and then you reduce your remaining air by 1 round at the end of each of your turns, or by 2 if you have attacked or cast any spells. So if you attack while basically being engulfed by this creature, you're gonna lose 2 turns off that total. So just a heads up. All right, so that's Turtle Run's turn. Mastodon wants. I'm gonna say now that Obak is engulfed by this creature, you got to be very careful with your attack. What are
You
you
might
looking
be
to do?
muted, Pete.
Yeah, you might be muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm gonna pull a chain out.
All right, so one action to interact and pull out a chain.
Yep.
Okay.
And I am going to use enough slack while spinning. Just enough slack as to kind of throw and attempt to pierce enough of the cube, you know, just in front of the hands of where I see Obak from within the cube.
Okay.
I have athletics. I don't know what you'd like me to roll on that.
Yeah. I'd say with this, sure, make me an athletics check. I'm not. Yeah, if you're trying to whip the chain into the gelatinous cube to give a chance.
He's an athlete.
With a 20, I'll say that it does pierce, and it's not gonna be easy for Obak to grab a hold of it, but it's there for him to grab a hold of it if he'd like. So that's your second action, whipping that chain into it.
Okay. This is risky. Because if I crit fail, I think I know what happens. I am going to swing with my greatsword.
Okay.
But I am going to attempt to hit the edge or the corner of this fucker that
Okay.
has not engulfed Obak.
Ooh, that was close, dude. That was close.
I saw critical and I was like, no. Oh wait, phew.
Yeah.
It
All
almost
right.
hit it too.
Yeah, I'll say that's enough. To avoid hitting, go ahead and roll normal damage.
God damn.
Yeah, that's that runic weapon. That's helping.
No.
All right. So you carve off a corner, and I'll say the piece that you carve off drops down into the water and is rushed away, and does not reform on this cube.
What a shame.
Perfect. All right. So that's your 3 actions.
Yeah.
All right, Gregor.
Okay, so what I want to do here, I want to hit Hunter's Aim and Hunted Shot again, but I want to use a grappling arrow, as another thing that, fuck, I forgot his name. Obak can grab onto to try to get out, and
Okay.
so can Mastodon, because it's a rope. I'm assuming, you know. So I guess the first one is for the grappling arrow, which would it still do damage as well?
I believe so, yeah. Yes, let's make that first shot.
Fuck, I did not mean to do that.
All good.
No fucking way, dude.
I need you to roll me. This is a critical miss. So, actually, so as far as my understanding goes, this might not actually be a critical miss. This might just be a outright miss. Because if I'm not mistaken, oh, actually no. This creature is off guard on it, and I believe. All right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, this is actually a critical miss. The off guard was supposed to be taken off at the end of Mastodon Watt's turn, so you got a plus. You got 2 to its AC that's gone down, so so this will be a miss plus a critical miss because it's a natural 1. So yeah, I need you to roll me critical damage here.
Oh man.
Oba. You see Gregor. Yeah, you see Gregor across the way shoot an arrow, and it is perfectly aimed towards you. But the power behind it is just a bit too much as it pierces through the gelatinous cube and slams into you. You take 14 points of damage.
Oh my god.
How come you can't roll those against the cube normally?
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, Dan.
I don't know.
Take the second shot. Let's hope for not another natural 1.
Gregor yells out. Sorry, bro. This one will be better. This one will be better.
Hey, that was the grappling one. So I have a grappling line sticking out of me then?
Yeah, you do. I'll say you have an arrow.
Let's go.
Yeah. All right.
At least you have a means of fucking.
All right. Roll damage on this one. And
Come on, man. What the fuck is it?
takes the 1. Perfect, dude.
Is there like
Alright.
resistance built into that, or is it just the short bow just does really?
you
Uh,
only get a 1d6, so you're just rolling bad.
yeah. The crit is very nice though. That's the thing, is you get the deadly D10. That's what makes it very nice. And you have a high chance to hit. So, all right. So that's your 3 actions. You shoot Obak. And then you just kind of pierces through the gelatinous cube, and it'll take a piece with it as the arrow actually pierces through and continues on. So there's less resistance there for you.
Can I say that I'm still holding on to the grappling arrow so that
Yeah,
I can
fair
serve
enough.
it like an anchor?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. So, Obak, you can attempt to attack. You can attempt to escape. I'll say that you attempt to escape because you have this arrow literally inside, piercing your flesh. I'll say you have a +2 circumstantial bonus to making that escape check. But
Yeah, I'll definitely give a.
the escape check is not easy, so just a heads up.
He's got the chain too. A little bit
Yeah.
of chain. A little bit of chain.
I'm gonna still give the escape a shot. Is it athletics or?
Escape. Actually, it should be an action. Sorry, let me drop it on you.
Oh no, I do already have it. Never mind.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't give me a thing to roll though.
Doesn't
Using
it say
your
acrobats or athletics down there?
Oh, okay. Attempt a check using your unarmed attack modifier. Okay, cool. And it's +2 circumstantial, you said?
yeah. Yeah, you can attempt an athletics or an acrobatics check. You're looking to beat a 21 here.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
Big ballin'.
So you are able to so you're able to get free. Oh fuck. Does that count? It does count, does it? Alright, let me see. Sorry, this will still count, but I need you to first make a fortitude saving throw. Because this creature naturally has paralysis, and you've been engulfed. So, unfortunately, you are unable to move entirely.
no,
So,
he's
yeah,
out.
I'm sorry,
though,
dude.
right?
I'm
He's
sorry,
out
dude.
of the-
No, he's not out. He's still in.
No, I'm-
That's sorry. I'm sorry. I fucking the creature. I just it has paralysis on its attacks, but it also has paralysis on its engulf, and I didn't see it attached to the engulf.
all good.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
dude.
I don't have any actions. I mean, what could I do without moving?
You literally
I'll just
can't.
think about
Good blink.
think about my time in the swamp and how
Yeah.
I've been stuck before, and eventually someone comes to save my ass. So I'll just kind of
Yeah.
blink, looking at Mastodon.
Yeah. The arrow's in you still though, so
We could,
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we could pull.
yeah. That's the intention. That's the intention. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the creature's turn. That means that you're still engulfed, so you'll still take the 2d6 acid damage. Oba,
Whoa.
which is not a lot. And the creature is going to target Mastodon, as it does not need to bother with anything else. Another whip-like attack.
Oh my god.
Critically hits.
Motherfucker.
I need you to make me a Fortitude saving throw as well. Fortitude save, so you're not paralyzed.
Thank god.
But you do take 16 points of damage. Now,
Hey,
do you want to do this now?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do,
yeah.
buddy.
Alright, perfect.
you're gonna be alright.
Yeah, you right.
Where is it? Let's see here. That is what? Selfish shield, correct?
Indeed. So, Selfish Shield, that'll give you resistance. Sorry. So 2 plus half your level, so 3. Okay. You have 3 against acid. That's it. There you go. Alright, and then now, you didn't take the damage yet. Okay, perfect. So now, yeah, so it whips back, slaps you. The creature's then gonna target Chani with another
No.
whipping attack.
It'll be alright, bro.
That's gonna hit. I need Chani to make a Fortitude saving throw.
Oh, he's done, dude.
Okay.
That was almost a crit too. Fuck, super close.
It'll be alright. It'll be alright.
To untrained.
It's already trained, so it's just the number beneath it, or whatever. I think it's a +7.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Unfortunately, Chani is paralyzed. So the dog, rearing back to attack, suddenly stops after being slapped by the gelatinous cube, and it also takes 4 points of damage. So, 1, 2. Yeah, all it can do at this point, because it can't really move while it's engulfing Obak. So, well, it can, but it's not very good. So, yeah, I can't move. Never mind. It's gonna go back to attacking Mastodon once. Yeah, that'll miss. So, whipping parts of its body. That is all can be done. Thornton Reed. Or sorry, why the fuck does it say that there?
It has updated for some reason.
Let me update. It's on your token, dude. Here, update. There we go. Perfect.
I'd like to move across the wooden boarding here. Do I have to make a check for that?
No, you just move. So you have up to on one movement action. You have up to what, 30 feet. So you can move up to 30 feet.
Yeah. Is there anywhere I can see that?
What's that?
Is there anywhere I can see my movement?
It's on your sheet. If you look at the main page of it, you'll see underneath like your.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is everyone's default 30?
It depends on the armor you're wearing and stuff.
Ah, okay.
Okay, then I'd like to move. If I step onto this board, will that put me in striking range of the cube? Because you said the token
Yeah.
was a little bit.
Yeah, I'll say it does.
I'd like to move here.
All right. 5.
Okay, and I'd like to just try a simple one-armed attack. Just strike a corner of the cube that Obok isn't occupying.
Okay. Unarmed? So just your hand?
An arm strike, yeah.
Alright. Go for it.
Do I have to click on the nan? Or It says Nan.
Yeah, Nan.
You're quite familiar with that town.
Nan.
Have to go and roll damage. Normal damage, not crit.
Gonna be mad if he does more damage with his fist than my art. Yep.
He did.
Some Romanian was jiggling some wires.
For it.
All right, we're back live. Everything is good to go. And
All right.
all right, let's knock this one out.
Tommy has one more action left.
Indeed. So, all right. Absolutely picking back up where we left off. You have one more action left. Oh, the creature has to take the. Oh, so it takes 4 damage. You have one more attack. Second attack, it does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
The
All right.
Fist of Herald.
God damn, dude.
Fist of Herald, and they're magical. So, all right. Yeah. You rush over, cross the bridge. You strike the creature 2 times.
That's a nice 1-2.
Yeah, like nice 1-2. Maybe you're ripping parts of the cube out of it, right? Chunks of the body out and just kind of dropping them to the ground. Absolutely. That's your turn. Turtle run.
Okay. Used guidance last time.
You did, yeah.
Hey, help me. Nah, you're probably weak.
Can I use scatter scree on him?
All right. Go ahead and target. And
He is targeted, right?
indeed. So the area is a 1-foot line. The scattering rocks deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d4 to creatures in the area. So
It's a 1-foot line. What do you mean?
it's a 10-foot line. So
10-foot line. Yes,
so you're gonna target. No, you're gonna target here.
Oh, but it's a 30 feet range. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
So
see.
so you can target,
Yeah.
but if you want to hit the creature, you're gonna you're gonna hit Obak as well, dude. So just a heads up.
Anti-target here.
Yeah, I guess, but it's still hitting the creature, which still means there's a chance to hit Obak. Obak would still have to make the reflex save, and since he's paralyzed, it's an automatic crit fail. So
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want to put him through that.
all right, so no scatter tree.
No.
All right, close that out.
Worm or pest instead.
All right, flesh of the target creature.
30
Feeling
feet
46.
as well, so I gotta move up.
Oh shit, he's eating the
30
jello.
feet.
Yeah, so the creature has to take a fortitude save. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll let this one because it's it targets 1 corporeal creature. So yeah, we'll say it targets the gelatinous cube. So it has to make this fortitude saving throw, which it succeeds. Go ahead and roll the damage on that though.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, we'll
Only
go with the
one,
first one.
only the top one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 46, and 1d6. So go ahead and roll 1d6. Oh wait, sorry. It takes the but no persistence, so it just takes the full 16. Okay. Absolutely. So,
God damn.
describe what happens to the gelatinous cube as you cast Worm's Repast on the creature.
So you know when you're going for a walk on a nice day at like the harbor after like a rainfall, and you see those little worms like everywhere on the ground. You just see those like eating it up right now.
Okay, absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah. that's what happened. You see the last forms of the gelatinous cube as it is overrun by gnawing worms that cover it immediately. And with that, cube is gone and falling, suspended in this state until the worms reach through, freeing you finally. Obak, you fall forward, released from the grasp of the creature. And that is the end of this combat. So.
Obak will take a moment to kind of grasp and get his breath back in his lungs and kind of shake off the paralysis completely, and will kind of just sit slumped on the ground, kind of back against the wall.
Howard's gonna walk over at this point, and he's gonna mention the further up ahead. I've felt that the whatever ooze this is, it felt stronger. So it's only gonna get worse from here.
That must mean we're headed in the right direction.
Hey, pro tip: don't let it catch you.
Yeah. So, you all. Go ahead.
I'll take my arrow back. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'll take
Obak will
back
kind of
my
just
card.
pull it out of his chest, hand it back.
I'll take my Cotter back.
What?
All right. So, taking a few moments to breathe. Is anybody doing any kind of healing or anything like that, or are you just taking a breather?
I don't think anyone's super low, right? Okay.
Do I have a healing potion on me?
Unless you bought it, you do not.
Okay.
I took some damage, but I'm not terrible.
Go ahead and hit myself with a little lay on hands.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the healing.
Obak will kind of turn to Mastodon, seeing him do this to himself. Hey, you got any to spare?
That's my last one. As you see, my wounds heal before your eyes.
Yeah. There you go, dude.
Obak will kind of just sigh.
Yeah.
I threw you the chain.
So, with that, we'll reconvene the party. And I think that, based on circumstances, we've been going, what,
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah, I don't want to run the risk of going further and then same thing with the internet happening again. So I think this time we'll go ahead and pause here as you are all kind of catching your breath from the combat with the gelatinous cube. Worries that continuing ahead, there may be more, and who knows what else you will find on the path forward. So I'm going to go ahead and sign on the stream and everything. We'll go ahead and end this session for now and pick up here next time. Next week. So give me a few moments and I'll be right back. All right. So thank you all for watching. Finally back running some games. Very fun. Bit of a disconnect there, unfortunately, due to the internet dropping out. Not sure what that was. Maybe it was the players themselves DDoSing me to ensure victory. I'm not entirely sure. But in any case, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back tomorrow to do a community world building stream and just kind of like a hangout stream where we, do some of the fun community stuff. So we'll be doing that starting at the same time as this stream. So thank you all. Hope you have a good day or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And maybe we'll see you next time. If not, we'll see you when we see you. Peace out.
Some Romanian was jiggling some wires.
for it.
All right, we're back live. Everything is good to go. And
All right.
all right, let's knock this one out.
Tommy has one more action left.
Indeed. So, all right. Absolutely picking back up where we left off. You have one more action left. Oh, the creature has to take the. Oh, so it takes 4 damage. You have one more attack. Second attack, it does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
The
All right.
Fist of Herald.
God damn, dude.
Fist of Herald, and they're magical. So, all right. Yeah. You rush over, cross the bridge. You strike the creature 2 times.
That's a nice 1-2.
Yeah, like nice 1-2. Maybe ripping parts of the cube out of it, right? Chunks of the body out and just kind of dropping them to the ground. Absolutely. That's your turn. Turtle run.
Okay. Used guidance last time.
You did, yeah.
Hey, help me. Nah, you're probably weak.
Can I use Scatter Scree on him?
All right. Go ahead and target. And
Yep. He is targeted, right?
indeed. So the area is a 1-foot line. The scattering rocks deal bludgeoning damage equal to 1d4 to creatures in the area. So
It's a 1-foot line. What do you mean?
it's a 10-foot line. So
10-foot line. Yes,
so you're gonna target. No, you're gonna target here.
Oh, but it's a 30 feet range. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I
So
see.
you can target,
Yeah.
but if you want to hit the creature, you're gonna you're gonna hit Obak as well, dude. So just a heads up.
Anti-target here.
Yeah, I guess, but it's still hitting the creature, which still means there's a chance to hit Obak. Obak would still have to make the reflex save, and since he's paralyzed, it's an automatic crit fail. So
Yeah, I don't want him. I don't want to put him through that.
all right, so no scatter tree.
No.
All right, close that out.
Worm repest instead.
All right, flesh of the target creature.
30
Feeling
feet as
46.
well, so I gotta move up.
Oh shit, he's eating the
30
jello.
Yeah, so the creature has to take a fortitude save. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll let this one because it targets one corporeal creature. So yeah, we'll say it targets the gelatinous cube. So it has to make this fortitude saving throw, which it succeeds. Go ahead and roll the damage on that though.
Oh shit, my bad.
Yeah, we'll
Only
go with the
one,
first one.
only the top one. Yep.
Yeah, so it's 46 and 1d6. So go ahead and roll 1d6. Oh wait, sorry. It takes the but no persistence, so it just takes the full 16. Okay. Absolutely. So,
God damn.
describe what happens to the gelatinous cube as you cast Worm's Repast on the creature.
So you know when you're going for a walk on a nice day at like the harbor after like a rainfall, and you see those little worms like everywhere on the ground. You just see those like eating it up right now.
Okay, absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah. And that's what happened. You see the last forms of the gelatinous cube as it is overrun by gnawing worms that cover it immediately. And with that, cube is gone and falling suspended in this state until the worms reach through, freeing you finally. Obak, you fall forward, released from the grasp of the creature. And that is the end of this combat.
Obak will take a moment to kind of grasp and get his breath back in his lungs and kind of shake off the paralysis completely, and will kind of just sit slumped on the ground, kind of back against the wall.
I was going to walk over at this point, and he's going to mention the further up ahead, I've felt that the whatever ooze this is, it felt stronger. So it's only going to get worse from here.
That must mean we're headed in the right direction.
Hey, pro tip, don't let it catch you.
Yeah. So, you all... Go ahead.
I'll take my arrow back. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I'll take
Obak will
back
kind of
my
just
Cotter.
pull it out of his chest, hand it back.
I'll take my Cotter back.
What?
All right. So, taking a few moments to breathe. Is anybody doing any kind of healing or anything like that, or are you just taking a breather?
I don't think anyone's super low, right? Okay.
Do I have a healing potion on me?
Unless you bought it, you do not.
Okay.
I took some damage, but I'm not terrible.
Go ahead and hit myself with a little lay on hands.
Okay. Gonna roll the healing.
Obak will kind of turn to Mastodon, seeing him do this to himself. Hey, you got any to spare?
That's my last one. As you see, my wounds heal before your eyes.
Yeah. There you go, dude.
Obak will kind of just sigh.
Yeah.
I threw you the chain.
So, with that, we'll reconvene the party. And I think that, based on circumstances, we've been going, what,
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. Yeah, I don't want to run the risk of going further and then same thing with the internet happening again. So I think this time we'll go ahead and pause here as you are all kind of catching your breath from the combat with the gelatinous cube. Worries that continuing ahead, there may be more, and who knows what else you will find on the path forward. So I'm going to go ahead and sign on the stream and everything. We'll go ahead and end this session for now and pick up here next time, next week. So give me a few moments. I'll be right back. All right. So thank you all for watching. Finally back running some games. Very fun. Bit of a disconnect there, unfortunately, due to the internet dropping out. Not sure what that was. Maybe it was the players themselves DDoSing me to ensure victory. I'm not entirely sure, but in any case, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be back tomorrow to do a community world building stream and just kind of like a hangout stream where we, do some of the fun community stuff. So we'll be doing that starting at the same time as this stream. So thank you all. Hope you have a good day or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And maybe we'll see you next time. If not, we'll see you when we see you. Peace.